Hello, my name is Youri Kemp, the DNA candidate for Garden Hills and spokesperson for the economy and finance. As you are well aware, Moody's just gave us an advisory that said within 2 months they are going to assess our economy with a view in mind to possibly downgrading us. When Moody's sends these advisories out that they have a view in mind to downgrade us within the next 2 months, more often than not, from historical evidence from countries like Brazil, South Africa, and elsewhere, more than likely they're going to downgrade us. This is a very serious and troubling challenge for the Bahamian economy. What Moody's has said is that they assessed downgrading us based on 3 particular drivers. The first driver is, 1, of whether or not we have any prospects for medium-term growth. With the Bahamas resort stalled and no other project like the Bahamas resort on the horizon, in addition to no other smaller projects that would make up the shortfall with regard to increasing jobs and increasing the overall tax revenue and tax take, the prospects for us finding medium-term growth seem slim to none. The second particular driver that Moody's talked about is with regard to the overall government's debt metrics and whether or not the government can meet its debt obligations and can actually cut taxes in addition to pay off its debt. Without money and revenue to tax from, the government finds itself in a very challenging position to the second driver, and that is they can't find enough money to tax in order to pay off the debt. So the model of tax to growth that this PLP administration has undertaken essentially has not worked. And that leads us to the third driver. The third driver that Moody's wants to assess the Bahamian economy on and the Bahamas government on is with regard to any overall policy initiatives or objectives that this government can implement within a short space of time that would help them to understand that the Bahamas economy is strong and that we would not possibly need another downgrade. Well, the policy responses have been mute and at the very best, weak. We want to hold this government accountable. We and the DNA wish to advise all persons watching our economic profile and watching what's happening on the ground here in the Bahamas to understand that these things are not only not normal, but the DNA has solutions to fix some of these problems. The first issue that we want to talk about is with regard to making sure that we collect what's owed to the government. This cannot happen unless we upgrade our facilities for revenue collection, in addition to cutting out all the wasteful spending that happens in government. The second thing that we want to embark on is with regard to making sure we can grow our economy again. That means we have to put upgrades to the Bahamas Investment Authority, and we have to accept all proposals from international investors and domestic investors that want to participate and do business in this country. The third thing is that we need structural reform. Structural reform with regard to the way we do business in this country, and additionally, the way we manage our affairs. Thus far, no one has confidence right now in the Bahamian economy and the administration that's administering our affairs. The DNA promises to do better, and we will do better once we become the government. My name is Youri Kemp, the DNA candidate for Garden Hills, spokesperson for the economy and finance.